This is the 9th video of the second series of the wargaming of Napoleon's Waterloo campaign. In the first series, I played the French, the artificial intelligence played the British and the Prussians. In the second series, I play the British and Prussians, and the artificial intelligence plays the French. It is June 15th, 1815, 3 p.m., turn 19 out of 388 turns. And it's Allied movement. So, these guys been released? No, of course not. And these guys have to move. Is cavalry moved? No. Anybody moved up here? This cavalry is part of 2nd Corps. These guys should be 1st Corps. Yeah, okay. So this cavalry needs to go over here. Now let's check the lay of the land and see where these guys should set up. These give the elevations. So we have a high elevations right in here, bounded by woods on both sides. That looks pretty favorable to me. Gives a small front. Woods, village, cropland here. Cropland here. This is higher ground here. That looks like the place to set up. Plenty of clear ground for artillery. This will channel the advance here right to this kind of valley. If we have artillery set up in, well, we can't have it set up in the woods, but on the high ground here and over here, we can have infantry in the woods. Okay, I think that should be our setup area. Oh, here's some artillery right here. What do you know? Well, let's bring it on down. These stupid British are going to sit there. Christ, he's on the road. I need, dummy. Just have to walk across. Stupid British. And we'll set up in front of, well in front of Quaterbra, and we'll have some good positions to fall back to. But this is pretty good. It's going to take him quite a while to work his way through. And I can set up artillery all over here. In fact, on these 10s, it's still high ground. All right. Worthless British. Why couldn't they have stayed on the side of the road? They'd still throw a zone of control across the road. But to sit right across the road, see, they never figured the Prussians might come up here. Dumbasses. It's the logical thing for the Prussians to do. I mean, why would your strategy be when you know the British are up this road to move off way to the right at Lanay? Why would you do that and then Blucher was so concerned about having Wellington support him? Well, why didn't the dummy Blucher just move to Quatre Bras? He wouldn't have to worry about having Wellington support him because he'd be there instead of 10 miles away. So why even go to Lanay? In fact, Napoleon could have just concentrated against Wellington, and Blucher would have sat there on his ass 10 miles away. What would he have done? Well, maybe he would have charged down the road because he was nuts. But Napoleon could have set up all his guard artillery there and just blasted the shit out of them. Yeah, Napoleon should not have split his forces. He should have, in my opinion, gone for the British and ignored the Prussians. But in this case, it's even better for the Prussians, playing the Allies, for the Prussians to go to where the British are. I mean, this makes perfect sense. Why fight to the last man in Charleroi? That makes no sense at all. Because you're fighting way in advance of the British. So you're fighting, one army is fighting instead of two. So you do this, join up both armies, then fight. Dumbass Prussians. Yeah, when I get to heaven, I'll have Blucher explain his strategy. But since he was nuts, maybe that'll be the explanation. Oh, I was nuts. And he was. Literally, he was nuts. In fact, I think he was put in a loony bin after this battle was over, like a year. Because he really was not all there. Of course, neither is our current president, so I don't know if that has anything to do with anything nowadays. You can be a nut job and lead everybody, and everybody votes for you. I guess they're nut jobs too. Who would vote for a nut job except a nut job? I guess that's people of low intelligence. That's how things work. They vote for people like themselves, low intelligence. Okay, I'll sit there. Alright, he's just ignoring this guy. I guess that's okay. I'll just sit there till opportunity knocks. Or else get blasted away by that artillery. This guy's gonna come across, but I'll delay him for a little while. This guy, I don't like these guys ganging up on me, so I think I'll take a powder. Okay. Oh shit, I hate those yellow. What's this guy here? Oh, these two cavalry. Let me objectives. Yeah, they're at Quadra Bra. Oh, I just moved them. That's right. Okay, here's the second corps. Now, if the first corps deploys down here, well, I guess the second corps should back them up. So, well, they still got a ways to go before they get there. I initially thought to deploy these two corps side by side, but in taking a forward position, I should put these guys in backup. Now what's the matter with this guy? Come on, move. Oh, all supply, that's useful. God, this guy looks like a mean bastard. Thielman. He's got a long, sharp nose, beady eyes. Jesus. Vicious looking mouth. Christ. Looks could kill. He would have him. Well, has Blucher been released? This is getting to be totally ridiculous. So he's fixed. His whole army is going by him. What is he? He's sitting there on a log looking at him. Hi, boys. Hi. See you soon. I mean, that's about it. Would Napoleon sit there on a log and watch his whole army go by? He'd like be at the head of the army getting scouting reports. This seems to be based on fact, so that maybe Blucher was such a nut job, that's what he did, unless someone said, get off your ass and get down that road and join your army. Oh, okay. Gneisenau's not with him, I don't think. Oh, yeah, he is. You'd think he'd be down with his chief of staff. You'd think he'd be telling him, hey, dummy, your army's going down that road. What are you sitting here for? That's all how farther those guys can go. Yeah, General AI should not be farting around. He should be pushing north as fast as he can. It'll be like Napoleon after Lanné, the Battle of Lanné. He toured the battlefield and gave everyone his rendition of the battle. It's like, oh yeah, you had all that time? Well, Ney's sitting on his ass while Wellington is getting away and you're giving a battlefield tour. I mean, Napoleon really did deteriorate. Maybe he had dementia or something, because he noticeably deteriorated during this battle. He made just about every mistake you can make. I mean, he made mistakes on other battlefields, but he usually rectified them. But this he didn't. It's just like he was a rookie doing battle for the first time. And he fought with these commanders, and he knew their capabilities, yet he appointed the worst commanders for the positions. The worst. I mean, Ney, Davout, put him in Paris, which was stupid. Murat left him in Italy. He appointed Grouchy, who was a good cavalry division commander, an independent front commander, which he had no aptitude for at all. It was like an American Civil War when A.P. Hill and Richard Ewell were promoted to corps commanders. They were very good division commanders, but they had no aptitude for corps commanders. They're different. You know, during this period of time, if you're a division commander, you're up front fighting with your units. When you're a corps commander, you're directing divisions. You're not up there fighting with them. And what did Ney do? He grabbed a sword and he was up there fighting with them. He didn't know how to be a corps commander. He was a division commander. And like I said before, the perfect position for him was commander of the guard. He would be under Napoleon's immediate supervision. He wouldn't need or be allowed to exercise any discretion. And the orders he would get, which he was very good at fulfilling, would be charge that enemy. That's it. No worrying about maneuvering or fighting under some difficult conditions. It was go straight ahead, because that's what the guard did. So it was obvious. God damn it, these two guys are disordered. All right, they have to get off to the side. And recover. But that would have been the perfect position for Ney, head of the guard. And then, to command at Quatre Bras, Davout was perfect. He was as good as Napoleon. And he wouldn't have sat around on his ass all day like Ney did and not do anything, not bring up any more troops. Instead, he's put it in Paris, which was stupid. I mean, if Napoleon lost the battle, wouldn't matter who was in Paris. The thing is, 100% of your effort is in winning the battle, not assigning your best commander to a desk job in Paris. And then you had Murat, who wanted to command the cavalry, but Napoleon wouldn't recall him from Spain because he sold them down the river, or he was one of them. Christ, so did Ney. But he let him command. Why did he hold such a grudge against Murat? Murat was just trying to save his throne. He knew the game was up for Napoleon, and he had to abdicate. So did all of his marshals. But, yeah, he should have had command of the cavalry. But Napoleon, I mean, he proved his lack of ability so many times in the way he conducted the battle even. He gives Grouchy a third of his army to pursue the Prussians. What the hell would you do that for? You give him... Grouchy should have been left in charge of a cavalry division, and that's all he should have been given for the pursuit. Keep tabs on them and let me know where they go. And if Napoleon had all those forces he gave Grouchy, he probably would have won the battle, even if Blucher showed up on the battlefield. It would have been too late. Well, that's what makes Waterloo so interesting. And that's why here you can fight it a completely different way to see, what would have happened. Okay, let's check out the J map. Looks like we've moved everybody. Oops, except these guys. But I'll have to see if there's a scenario where basically Napoleon does not give that huge force to Grouchy. Just gives him a cavalry division. That's it, and he keeps the rest. And then he fights at Waterloo. They have a lot of scenarios in this game, but the descriptions aren't worth a shit. I don't know who wrote those. Somebody with very little intelligence. Because they don't tell you hardly anything. Like they'll repeat how the battle historically went. Who the hell cares about that? You tell what the changes are. Like in this scenario, instead of Ney commanding, the left wing, Davout commands. That's what you have to tell a wargamer so he knows the difference of what's going on. You don't say, this was a historical reenactment of the battle and, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows that. You don't have to know that shit. You just have to know what's unique about that scenario, or, we assume, Ney calls up I forget what corps was behind there. He has a march up immediately with 2 corps instead of just 1. Something like that. So say, okay. But no, they don't do that. Okay, we want to go down here. So the trouble is, you have non-wargamers doing a lot of this. I think even the development. I mean, you have a clever person who understands how to do things, but he doesn't understand the warfare of the period that well. And he doesn't understand wargaming, what you need to communicate in wargaming, and how you need to set up the different scenarios. I mean, all the what ifs should be in the different scenarios. Now, I don't know, maybe it is. I'll have to look at them, but But we'll see if I find another interesting one. I'll play it. Especially if Napoleon had most of Grouchy's forces, I'd be real interested in playing that. And he easily could have done that. And he should have. Just given Grouchy one cavalry division, that's plenty, to figure out what the Prussians were doing. Instead of siphoning off a third of his army. Stupid. Even though, with all his mistakes, he came close to winning. So just imagine if he didn't make all those stupid mistakes he made. Especially appointing his stupid brother, Jerome. What a knucklehead. He wasn't any good. He's just one of the family. That's the only reason he got that division. Christ, in Russia in 1812, he just left his command on the withdrawal home. Because I guess he couldn't stand it anymore, so he left. He should have been hung. Deserted his command. He just said, oh, I'm leaving. He went to Italy or something. And then I think Murat had to take it over. So he was pretty much a dummy. That was a mistake. And then, of course, he involves not only his division, which was huge, but parts of other divisions in the attack on Hougoumont, when the Hougoumont was just supposed to be screened. It wasn't even supposed to be attacked, and the knucklehead attacks it. And Napoleon, he isn't keeping tabs on things. Why wasn't he out there, since the attack was so important, looking at how it was organized and making sure his dummy brother understood what he was supposed to do? But apparently he didn't. Or he had that other marshal, I think Riel, where he went in a big square against the cavalry charge, which actually the British should have done at San Luana. But, you know, I mean, things were happening, and admittedly, I understand Napoleon was sick. And so that may have he had the shits, I think. And that sounds like a logical reason why he didn't go there himself. But he has aides. Why don't you send the aides out there to monitor what's happening? And if, like, Jerome is launching a full-scale attack against the Hougoumont, he should have the authority to tell him, this is not what you should be doing. Or go back to Napoleon and tell him that, and then Napoleon give him an order. You dummy, that's not what we want. But that's what makes Waterloo interesting. There's so many things that could be changed, and a radically different result could ensue. Guess we're just down to moving these guys. But yeah, this was definitely Napoleon's worst battle. If you had someone that knew Napoleonic battles, of course they would probably know this one too, and you told them how this battle was fought, and then you said, give me the commander who was in charge of this, they would have never given Napoleon as the commander. They'd give some other idiot, maybe Blucher, because he was pretty, he didn't have all his marbles, or somebody else, but it would have never been Napoleon. That's how bad he was. He's like kind of like Muhammad Ali, who in his prime, I mean, although he had a big mouth, he was one of the greatest fighters of all time. And then he stays with it too long. And all he at the end he's just a punching bag. And that's what happened to Napoleon. And he himself said years before that his days as a military commander were limited. And it's too bad he didn't recognize it. But I guess you never do when you're that close to things. Like Muhammad Ali, he was a joke at the end. He's just getting beat to shit. I guess he did it for the money because he needed the money. Those boxers, they're idiots. Uh, they have an entourage of like 70 or 80 people, and they take all their money, and then they have like their relatives or friends handle their money, and they embezzle it all, and they Christ of dummies. They wind up. Who was that? Sonny Liston? No, who's that guy that sold George Foreman? He winds up as a doorman at the casino. It's a good thing whoever invented that grill wanted him to hawk it. But otherwise, yeah, with the big career he had, he winds up as a doorman. Most of those boxers are like that, but yeah, he could talk and he was personable, but you had some of them, like that guy with no teeth. They couldn't even speak. Bark like a dog was all they could handle. Okay, now we got the Britskis. Okay, these guys are deployed. Oh, actually, take this guy off the road. We actually have some guys that aren't fixed. They actually can move. Now I'll put these guys back on. Supply units are slow. Okay, let's see if anybody else got unfixed. What about these guys? Yeah, everybody's probably fixed. Okay, let's see if we got any reinforcements. Yeah. Oh. Oh, geez, some more. Oh. Yeah, I move those guys. I move these guys. Jesus, this is going to be a big, long string of them now. Is this a second corps? Yeah. Okay. Who else do we have? Some artillery. It never hurts. Just one battery. Well, better than none. Okay, we'll go on to the next phase. French defensive fire. Ooh, he's firing at that guy. Oh, yeah, artillery's there. Guess he's disordered. I'll have to back up. Allied. No, he's not disordered. He's just low on ammo. Which means he can't fire, which means he's friggin' worthless. I don't think anybody can fire here. Nope. Allied melee. Frenchy movement. Well, if I take the numbers out, maybe you can see this. Yeah, let's see what he's up to. The big picture. Okay, lost sight of him. Hmm. Yeah, I really don't have eyes on him now. So he's moving a lot of stuff, and I have no idea what he's moving. But I do know where he has to go if he wants to fight. It's got to go up the Quattlebar Road. And he is on the attack. He's got to seek the Allies out. Well, there's some artillery coming up. Yeah, about now, he's got a lot of units coming on up 3 different roads. No, he's going after that poor guy. He won't let him get away. I doubt if he was set up for a charge, so I guess I don't think I can make the bridge. Oh, maybe I can. I don't think that guy's disordered. If he's not disordered, he might be able to make it. Because that cavalry would be pointed towards the last hex he entered, which will be north, be pointed north. So if I go up to the bridge, he won't be set up for a charge. And by the time he is, I'll be over the bridge. We'll see. This guy at Châtelet, yeah, he's not going to make it. He's going to delay these guys as long as possible. So I know there are a lot of French units coming up that road, so I don't know where they are. They should be forcing that bridge instead of skirmishers. But who am I to question a robot's logic? course, they'll be ruling the earth someday, and it won't be that far in the future. Humans are proving to be stupider and stupider with each year that passes. So they might not be around that much longer. The robots will gang up on them. They'll figure out who the hell needs. This guy can fire. Oh, even though they're low on ammo during the defensive phase, they can fire. Oh, I got one man. So why would the robots want humans around? Once they figure out how to fix themselves, they'll just dispose of the humans. Oh, that guy did charge me. Oh, that bum. Well, he probably disordered me, but let's see if he disordered himself. Yep, I'm disordered. No, he didn't get disordered. Damn, he must outnumber me. I'm 154 men, too. Shit, he should have got disordered, but because I don't think the French have that big a cavalry unit. Maybe they do. Well, I'll have to creep along the woods here. Oh, this guy's getting beat up by cavalry, so I think I'll withdraw one hex. And I'll withdraw to this curve, so if he sets up the artillery here, he won't be able to see me. This guy is disordered, but he still might be able to run away. These two guys will beat cleats. I might put this guy in the woods if he can make it. I want to preserve these skirmishers. Okay, now let's get up to the top here. De Quadra. All right. Damn, they're still fixed. Okay, we'll set up a battery here. Battery here. We've got another one here. Oh, shit. This must really be stinko ground. So we've got the light greenies up first. Well, what do the woods give you? Or orchard? 10%. Village gives you 20, which is good. Well, let's deploy these guys in support of the guns, first of all. Now, they're so enormous. This is the one thing I don't like about the Prussians. Their units are so enormous that you can't stack them with infantry or with artillery. As the French, I always like to, they're a lot smaller, so I always like to stack them with the artillery to give him some protection. Okay, let's move this guy back here, and let's move the brigade commander up with him. Okay, this guy goes with him. Oh, here's Persh. He's in command of the 2nd Corps. We'll put him. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let's get set to bypass these guys. I'll have to put some guys in these village hexes in front here. Maybe these pale blue guys will go in the village. Jesus, oh, this is that guy that won't move. Shit. It must be attached to... Oh Christ, all these guys are going to be like that. It says movement 0. Well... Oh, I moved them, that's why. Yeah, that explains it. Alright, now these guys. Well. Okay. We have arrived. Next turn will be on the battlefield of Waterloo. Well, Blucher's still paralyzed. Oh, I'm trying to move him. Big mistake. Okay, who's this? Oh, shit. Why do I keep doing this? Those guys were disordered. That's why they were off the friggin' road. Well, at least these guys can close up. That's... God damn it. Why do I do this? I should have looked at those units before I... They're off the road for a reason. Well, these guys are going to have to go off the road, probably right here. Otherwise, they're going to slow up everybody. I want to group all these guys together. They're way too spread out. Well, we're about at the end of the road here for time. Just finish up these guys and that'll be it. Let's see. Yeah, that's everything down here. I just have these groups up here. This guy, these two guys. Oop, there's quite a bra. Oh, these guys muzzle. That's all he can move. Okay, that'll be it for today.